And it's the problem that I have with all these parents. You put so much into the kid that you feel that the kid owes you back. Why does your kid owe you back? Your job was to be a parent. Who told you to make your whole life about your kids, then make them guilty for feeling that way? Because you couldn't do what you wanted to do. Now they have to now do for you because they gave, who told you to? They was a part of your life. They wasn't your whole life. So when I'm telling you, I don't agree with this style of, or this view of parenting. He's my responsibility. I will manage my responsibilities. I will do for him and get him to the place he needs to get to. But as I'm getting in there, I'm also getting my own self to my own place.
Wow, go on, Gabz
Yo,
TV. We're
what
back.
one? What are you telling
I
me
had to do
though?
a part 2 to that episode. Look at me. That's how I would have done that again.
Weak shot.
No, that's how I dropped the drink before.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here, man. After that episode, I think there was still more that we weren't really able to touch on.
What more? What more?
But you know the maddest thing.
You're not touching everything.
Imagine on that day, we've now done the episode, we finished, and you had to rush and go go for.
Can you see? Can you see?
You had to go for.
We did the episode. What did I say? Los, what's the time? Shit. What did I do? Ace, get your shoes on quickly. Do you think this is fun? Now what happened? I drove down the road. What did I do? I panicked. I'm speeding. I called Rodney. Rodney, the boys got football today. Nah, it's cancelled. My whole body. Vroom. Hey, Loso, where are you? Spin the car back. Spin the car back. What did I do? I went to go and sit down on the sofa. Ace, go and play with your friend. Fam. Now imagine if I had 2 extra youths, maybe younger than Ace, and I had to pack them all together. Fam. Now, you can turn around and say, okay, well, you should have been more organized. But I can also turn around and say, if there was extra 2 youths, there's no Gabz TV. You know?
So you have to thank Gabriel's wise decision to not have more kids.
More.
To keep all of you entertained.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Because if let me go and have more kids and let me not have somebody doing the things that they need to do, then what am I doing? I'm bye-bye. Because I've got responsibilities. I've got priorities. Fam, this is not a joke. Like when they say it's a lifelong commitment, you're not explaining properly what that kind of commitment is. He's doing something every day. Tomorrow he's got maths class again. He's even doing extra English class. He's got something almost every day. My guy. Then he has to be entertained up until a certain time, 8:30, before he goes to bed. By that time, the whole day, you're puffed out. Excuse me? How? And that's one you. Now we can go around and say, oh, well, go send him over here. Let them take him. Let them take it. Oh, you can all do it together. But then you're not even knowing what's going on with your child no more. It then goes back to that thing of how most of us was raised. Yes, we had parents, but the world raises your kid. You don't raise your kid. You don't have time to raise your kid. So then you can go and pop out bare babies, but the responsibility that comes with each child, can you do it? You're not even looking at your child as individuals anymore. You're looking at them as a collective, and you're basically hoping that the eldest looks after the other lot. So now the eldest now becomes a parent.
We don't support that, boy.
And I don't support that crap. You know what? I tell you the truth. Well, I always tell the truth, but I tell you, hand on my heart, I feel sorry for my brother Stephen. I do. Unfortunately for him, my mum leaned on him in such a way, and responsibility came on his head in such a way, because my dad wasn't always around, that he had to be a dad before his time. And he was crossed between being an older brother and being a dad. And I hated him for it. Well, not hate is a strong word. I proper disliked him for it. Purely because I didn't understand it then. On the one breath, I think to myself, my brother's cool. On another breath, he does some things that just piss me off. It's like, what are you? Even my own friend, Larry would come. Larry would be like, what is wrong with your brother? And even me, I'm like, I don't know, man. Do you get what I'm saying? But unfortunately, he had to play two roles. Now, take my brother, for example. If I didn't have Steve in my life, yeah, I don't play basketball. I don't go to Sunny Delight 3-on-3. All these competitions, Crystal Palace. I don't have the night trainers. Because mum ain't buying that stuff. Or I did that. I'm getting 4-strap from mum. And even 4-strap, I'm not even getting like that. If not for Steve, I don't have fresh trims. Everybody used to see my haircut. He was a barber as well. I didn't even have to ask him to cut my hair. He would just tell me, come, do it and do patterns. If you compared my haircut to dog and haircut, with the basketball that dad used to do, I got fades. Them fades back then is about 4 quid, 5 quid. Them two got basketball on the head. Now, that's no disrespect to them and what they're doing, but do you get what I'm saying? If not for Steve, I had not the complete father figure that I feel like I personally needed, because there was a lot more, but I had a figure in my life. Do you get it? And unfortunately, he had to take that role on. Now, was that fair of my mum to do that to him? Was he equipped to do the job? No, he was learning on the job. And yeah, he made some mistakes with us. But he never ran from us. He was always there. Now, on the one breath, you say Nigerian culture, yeah, well, you respect your elders. British culture, we don't have to respect your elders. You earn that respect. Steve earned that respect, bro. It's only later on in my life that I actually sat there and I thought to myself, every time I got in trouble, I lose my car, beef, whatever else, who was always there? Ready to pick up the call, ready to call me, ready to tell me off, ready to get my car back. Steve. That's why till today, whenever he asks me to do something or he asks me for something, I don't argue with the guy. I never say no to Steve. I say, I might be like, oh, Steve, please, I beg, like. But if he says something, even when my mum says things, and or my dad or whoever, I always say, have you spoken to Stephen first? Whether you like it or not, you have to speak to Steve. Steve is the head of my family. Even if I have 10 times more money, whatever, fame, whatever, that guy calls me and tells me to come and sit down, I'm going to go and sit down. He's the head of my family.
That's it.
He's earned that respect. But it wasn't fair to him. He should have gone on and lived his own life and done his own thing and done great things, but he's worried about us lot. Whilst he's still trying to figure out his own life. Is that fair? To ask that of a son, it's not fair. What that is very simple. You shouldn't have had more kids until you was ready to have more kids.
Yeah.
But that's not how we looked at it. Oh, you're the oldest, so you have to babysit. It's not fair. If you couldn't handle your kids, why you have them? It's not fair. You're asking to be a dad and a brother when he should just be a brother. I never had to be a dad for my little brother. No. I was just his brother. Steve was the dad, as well as the brother. Of course, we have our own dad as well, but the relationship was just a bit different. It wasn't fair. So, me personally, if you're asking me to go have another kid, I'm not going to be the same kind of parent. Oh, well, I have more kids and you look after. No, I'm responsible for all of these children that have come out that I've chosen to have. So if it was a thing where Ace and I turn around and say, but Dad, why have I got to look after my little brother? I can turn around and tell Ace, you know what, you're right. Looking out for him and looking after him is two different things. If he's out, you look out for your brother. Blood in, blood out. As far as looking after him, it is my responsibility to look after my child. If I can't handle that, why am I doing this? I don't want to be like them other parents where you're just raising your kids to eventually look after you. I don't want Ace to wipe my own ass. That's why I have insurance. That's why I covered things in a certain kind of way. If he does for me later on because he's found success, that I want to do for whatever else, you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for the bigger picture because we have a plan. I've already set his plan and vision in motion, aligned with my own. And when he's of the right age, he will also have the ring of our family symbol, which will then lead on to the next phase of the plans. But that's not to look after me, to work with me so we can build our family in the way that I believe the family should be built. And hopefully he buys into that. But guess what? If he doesn't, I am still your dad. I would not put that burden on you to come and be looking after me. Why? And it's the problem that I have with all these parents. You put so much into the kid that you feel that the kid owes you back. Why does your kid owe you back? Your job was to be a parent. Who told you to make your whole life about your kids? Then make them guilty for feeling that way. Because you couldn't do what you wanted to do. Now they have to now do for you because they gave, who told you to? They was a part of your life. They wasn't your whole life. So when I'm telling you, I don't agree with this style of, or this view of parenting. He's my responsibility. I will manage my responsibilities. I will do for him and get him to the place he needs to get to. But as I'm getting in there, I'm also getting my own self to my own place. Now, maybe we cross paths and we go together. Maybe we don't. But guess what? Sorry about that. But guess what? It is what it is. And that's my personal view. Because I can recognize with Steve, that wasn't fair. No parent should be asking their child to do that. And no parent should make your child feel guilty for the fact that you did what was in actual fact your job. Otherwise, don't have the children.
Easier said than done, isn't it?
Hence why I will tell you, nobody's explained this to me when I was a youth. No one, their uncles, no one who explained what. You just flopping it out, smashing the mum. 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4 kid. Then the daughter's got to take care of everyone. The daughter's got to cook for running here because we've got to do this. Why did you carry on? Why did you carry on doing this when you couldn't manage it? You didn't sit and think about all the factors that come with raising a child? What is wrong with you? Now my son is going to be a babysitter. My son is supposed to be figuring out his own life. Having his own boner. Going through his first heartbreak. Going through his first letdown. He didn't get scouted for this team. Or he missed opportunity. Not coming back to come and look after his siblings because I have to go to work. What is that? When he has his own kids, me too, I will explain to him. This is a serious responsibility that you're asking for here. If you know you can't handle this responsibility, wear condom or don't do it. Because what you are basically saying is you're going to be responsible for her life for the rest of your life. You are asking for a lot. Your time, specifically. A large part of your life will be dedicated serving that child. At the same time, trying to figure out your own life. It's a big ask. Bro.
Yeah, I could see where the influence to not want to have more kids, especially that experience with your big brother.
It wasn't fair to Steve.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's not fair to the first child. I'm a first child.
Yeah, it's not fair.
And I knew that responsibility was taken because obviously my dad passed away. And it took me a long time to realize that, look, I'm not my sibling's dad. But by the time I realized that I'm a full-grown man in my 20s, and then I'm like, you know what? I need to figure out what I'm doing. And I had a vision that had my siblings in mind when I didn't even have a vision for myself.
So then you end up focusing on so many different things when you should be focusing on your own personal development. Now, my child goes and has a kid with somebody. If you think for a second you're going to do what this new generation is doing to their grandparents, to me, you're a fool. I did my time. I did. I got you here. I showed you the plan. Maybe you didn't like my plan, in which case we did a plan for you and your own vision. And you went your way. I'm not putting me on schedule for pickups and drop-offs in nursery. Don't even try it. I'm a grandparent. Which means I come every now and then, I take, blah, 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 I give back. Sweets, chocolates, here you go, grandchild, money. I'm gone. Don't do it. Don't come back and say, Dad, I can't handle it. Hey, I broke everything down to you. From the moment you was conceived, how it happened, what happened between me, your mum, everything. I told you everything. I gave you everything. To make not the right decision, not the wrong decision, but the best decision for yourself, you, as a child, you. Don't come and tell me story, oh. Grandchild won't live in my house, oh. You two won't live in my house. You left, you go. What? That's your business.
Don't come back.
Don't come back here, oh. I will call you, you call me. If it gets tough, I will advise you. Happy to do that. But you will face it. Since my son was born, I never asked any grandparent or whatever to go on any schedule. As far as I'm concerned, what I saw is my mum raised 4 boys. And if my mum can raise 4 boys, I have no excuse. That's my own mentality. Call it a tough, rough head, whatever else, but I'm coming from a school of hard knocks. We don't do excuses over here. Now, if for one reason or another you want to come and help me out here and there, you can come and help me out by your choice, but it's not mandatory. I will get it done myself. I chose to do this. It is my responsibility. So when you ask me to go and have another kid, are you understanding the level of responsibility I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Are you seeing how serious this is? This is not just a kid. You're asking for a lot. And I need to consider if this is even worth it or not. What do you want from me? People.
But I guess that's the point that I thought we definitely needed to get on camera, because when we spoke about it and like you had to do that school the football run and duck out, and I was just thinking, right, this is the responsibility. And then for you to have a child now, with your child becoming 5 or so you got to do this again. So that means he's going to be 10 and that child will be 5 and you'll be running around doing football.
You know what's so mad, yeah?
I could see. So do you think it's difficult when you're in a romantic relationship? Because obviously for you, it's easy.
With the mum or with a different woman?
With the mum.
It's only difficult when you have your view of this and my view of this and we don't have ours. If I'm supposed to lead the family, but you're leading the family and I don't like what you're doing and you don't like it.
The reason why I'm saying that is saying it from the perspective that I've had uncles tell me that, it's the woman that decide how many kids you're going to have. That's fine. But it's your job to inform that woman. Yes, so that if you go down this road, this is what is required. If you are prepared for that, don't later on come back and tell me a story. Remember I told you, if we're going to do this, let's do this knowing that we can cover it and we can do it properly. But if you dare say we're going to do this and I come home and I'm not seeing the things I want to be seeing, I'll move out. I will leave. Because when you came, Pregwa? Preg who? Okay, no problem. I've done this. I've been there. I have experience. This is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. We're expecting these things. If you are not up for that challenge, don't try it all. I will leave. And I'll just co-parent. I'll do my bit and whatever else. Because truth be told, I didn't ask for this. You asked for this. Don't neglect me. I'm warning you. You service me. We service
the kid in our way that doesn't affect our own lives. But if you want to, go and make the kids' life your life, even the grandkids. I'll go and find my own lepa shandy and do what I'm doing. Because maybe you want to marry your kids. Don't be stupid. I have my own philosophy of this thing. We brought this child here. The child will go off and do their own thing. If you like, go and chase, like you say, you don't have business to do with me, then you're on your own. Let them go and look after you. That's your business. Do you understand?
You know, I think you summed it up very well, boy. Because I always wonder about those situations where if obviously people will assume, well, you're not with the mother of your child, so it's like easier for you to say that. But obviously, guys that in a relationship, I always think about how they can say that, oh, you know what, I don't want more kids.
The only reason why it would be hard for you in a relationship already is because you got in a relationship with the woman that you're with at a time when you shouldn't have got in the relationship. You're emotionally involved with her at a time when you didn't know what it was to be a man. You didn't even know what you like and what you don't like. You don't know much about yourselves. But what you know is you're in a relationship. And by the time you come to your senses and you realize, this is long, that's long, this is long, that's long, that's long, you're so emotionally invested that it's hard to tell that person because all that person is thinking about is the person that they met. As far as they're concerned, where's all of this coming from?
And this ain't things that you think that could be solved with like discussions beforehand.
It can be resolved with discussion beforehand if you understand yourself. If you know who you are as a man, then you will know how to operate. But a lot of us are still trying to figure out our lives. And we're getting twanged by these twats of uncles. And before you know it, 21, we're getting married. What are you doing? Right. I'm not saying don't be in a relationship. But bro, do you know who you are without the woman? At 21, I can't tell you, I know who I was. I know who I thought I was. Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, DMX. Those are the people that I thought I was. I'm still trying to figure out my life. And you want to go and put woman in this equation and be married? Then later on, you want to complain about how there's a communication problem. How do you even know how to communicate at 21 properly? And I'm not talking about communication based on your mum, dad, or work. With woman. Have you taken time to understand woman? You heard me on the phone today. The child is unborn. That's the question.
We're talking about the Bad Chat episode, by the way.
What did the woman take? Well, she was back and forth. The only thing I'm upset about is that I raised my voice, but it was only for you to hear me a bit. But the truth is, I heard the question. What did you hear? Woman heard what she wanted to hear. She described head coming out, all of it. Is that what the question was? But if you understand woman properly, you will understand that when the woman hears something, she hears it what she wants to hear. You two have to have the patience. Simmer. Ngozi, come. Tell me, what exactly did you hear in that thing?
You start realizing they didn't have anything.
No! That's my mistake. Once again, like I said, I'm not a finished product. I'm still learning. It should have been really quietly, but there was more people. If it was two of us, I probably would have done it different. Ngozi, come. What did you hear? So what you took from that was that. But you do know that the question, the person said that the child is not here yet. So why did you describe a head coming out and all of those things when the person didn't say that? You just wanted to hear that part. Okay, no problem. I've heard you. But that wasn't the question, you know that, right? Okay, so we understand. There's a way in which you deal with women. How do you know how to deal with women when you don't have to deal with yourself? You don't know yourself properly. You can't even identify when you go out of character. And you want to have a woman? Good luck.
Know yourself, lads. So when do you think is a good age for a man to want to get married?
Not so much based on age. It's based on you figuring out your life and what you want to do with your life and recognizing your vulnerabilities and your insecurities, and if not tackling your insecurities, being at peace with both insecurities and vulnerabilities. Do you understand me? Sometimes you go into a relationship with a woman, and let's just say financially, that is an insecurity for you, and then she does certain things that affect that insecurity. How you react now is basically combative and quite aggressive, purely because of the fact that she's touched the nerve. And if you are expecting women to not touch a nerve, well, you're an idiot. Because rather than getting back at her, if you was if you was at peace with those vulnerabilities and those insecurities, you would stop her straight away and say, "Baby, why did you say that? Like, why did you say that? Why did you insult me about this? Why are you trying to make me feel this way? Yes, I don't have money, but I know I don't have money. Like, it's almost like you're saying this to get a reaction out of me that I don't like. Do you want me to get mad at you?" Whereas for most people, arms us. And if it's not arms us, you're holding it in.
And that's even worse.
And you want to enter a relationship. And often what you find is that if you don't understand this thing of patience, you can't see that she only said those things to get a reaction out of you. Problem is that she don't recognize how hurtful it is. How are you going to teach someone when you don't have the patience to see? You're still trying to figure out yourself as a man. You decided to join forces with somebody and do life together, but then as you decided to join forces with somebody and do life together, you presented yourself as the head honcho, only to come and tell her we're going 50-50. Now, head honcho that you portrayed yourself as, in the real crux of it, is 50-50. You've now invited disrespect. But then you're angry at her for being disrespectful. But the fact is that she thought she was marrying head honcho. And rather than be having a relaxed kind of life, serving you and whatever else, she's doing 24 hours A&E. So you had to reduce your head honcho and just be your normal self to join together. You can't be ordering her about. You're just as much of the 50 as I am, fool.
And there's no problem with that.
And there's no problem with that.
But just don't sell the dream.
But don't sell the dream. Don't present yourself in a way that you're not. But if you feel like you have to present yourself in a way that you're not, you are not comfortable with who you are. Which means you haven't found yourself yet. Go and find what it is that makes you feel the things that you feel that you don't like. Go and tackle them before you go and join woman. Guy. Please. Otherwise, you're not going to win. You're not going to last. I found peace with my vulnerabilities and I tackled my insecurities. Hence why I can see things a lot more clearly. I told you, I can't see your bullshit, Los, if I've got bullshit of my own. And I found peace in studying. And I don't study because I'm trying to pass an exam. I study because I enjoy it. And I study people. I recognize that a large part of my studies is what's helped me become who I am. And I can't ignore the fact that there's so many other people that's had an impact in my life. So what sometimes might look as me taking the piss, I'm not. I'm just a good brother who's come from a block. And I've taken the purest part of the block, the fundamentals of it, and I've stuck with it. And that's why when one or two females message me talking about, Gabz, my son, I don't know if there's other places where they can go, or can you, is there training, can I pay you? What did I immediately say to them? The payment, don't forget it. I train my son, myself personally, to work on his own personal development, and he also goes to these things. If you want to drop him, you can. I'm cool with that. One of them even said, you know what, I cook, so I can do some cooking with you. I can do some cooking for you guys so you can eat. And I said, you know what? That reminds me of the block. You don't have to give me money, but for that gesture alone shows that there's love. Do you know how many dads looked after me on my block? Do you know how many dads looked after me in my lifetime? Did they ask for a payment from my mum? Tell me. R.I.P. Steve Longley. I enjoyed not the same as their child, but enough so that I didn't go missing. Imagine now, I'm looking after my son. I have the ability to now help other people with their kids. And you want me to now do what? I told you I'm a hand-me-down baby, my boy. Doesn't matter what I've got, who I am right now. I'm not going to forget those roots. Because a large part of my personal development comes from the fact that I got support. And that support wasn't support that had to be funded. It was out of pure love. Do you get it? So I will help as best as I can. Doesn't mean I want to be a daddy to your kid, but I will help. Just the same way I got helped, my guy. Because I also recognize that sometimes dads don't always have the time. Sometimes dads are not always available. Sometimes dads are just crap. I get it. Life happens. Do you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't turn around and say, I take responsibility for your child. No. Their development, I'll help out. Which is that if I'm training my son and you want to bring your son, bring your son. I'll train him too. It ain't going to hurt me. I was here with my son anyway. No different from any one of them dads. If they took their son to football, what would happen? They would take they would take me with them. Take, for example, his family. Remember?
Yeah, they live behind me.
Uncle Chris. Don't take the piss. He's the only black dad on the block that took time to take all of us to football.
Yeah, he put us in the van.
Not any van, Mercedes van, lime green, with his cleaning equipment business in there. Had cut us oranges. Want to play? Kids, come, want to play? His own kid. Oh, well.
There was another one as well, another dad.
His own kids and us in the van gave us football kit. He's no signing on fee, no subs, no petrol money, nothing. Funded by him. Imagine if that man is not on that block. You want me to now take money from you? He's been blessed in whatever way he's been blessed. And you can have they can have their own personal feelings towards their dad. That's their business. But the impact that that man had on my life.
On many of us.
I'm sorry. If I can have that same impact on another kid's life, I will do it. I know what he meant. And let's think of a community. The block is more than what you think it is. And it's my job, I believe personally, to help you see that. We're not just monsters. We have a lot of love in our heart, bro. We know how to help each other out. And he's one dad of many different dads. I just highlighted him because he was black. No other black dad was doing that.
No, there was one other one on my road.
Which one?
You know the one that lives under his dad?
Yeah, but he was more focused on his son football-wise. But
he did create a team though for the ends.
Actually, I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he created a team.
I think he
for
did.
the ends.
I just don't remember his 1-2 time. I think I played
for his team.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
He done his thing. He created a whole
But
team.
Crystal's one was first, but he done his one later on. Yeah.
But obviously, them man
Kishan's
moved
dad.
out.
Yeah. Shout out to him. They moved out.
They moved out, and he did it.
Yeah.
And I remember we all played for his team. We did a year.
To be fair, there was like I said, there was a few.
The only issue
but the one I remembered was Chris's one, only because of how that was. Then also Jason Fontaine, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Fontaine's dad, Junior Hammers.
Mm.
What subs did I pay? You think I could get subs for my mum?
Mm.
What signing on fee did I pay?
It's true.
But they went out of their way and they helped. I have been blessed in a certain kind of way, and I'm still receiving more blessings, my guy. Now, maybe I don't do charities that speak volumes to the world of whatever else. But I'm a community man. I'm a community baby, bro. I'm a block baby, bro.
I've always said charity starts at home because I find that a lot of people will jump on all these internet bandwagons and stuff, but they don't even help their neighbours. They don't even know their neighbours. They don't even know what's going on with their own people.
What's so mad is one of the people that even messaged me, there was a few, but one of them specifically, she doesn't even know me properly. We're just cool, we're just talking and then nothing out of the ordinary. She doesn't even know me properly. She even said it. I know you don't know me like that, but thank you. And I thought to myself, there's nothing to really thank. Like, but I get it. You're not unless you understand where it's coming from me, you just won't get me. I'm a block baby, bro. Currently now an educated block baby or brother. And I respect Charlie in the shop. Patel.
The amount of free stuff he gave us, bro.
It wasn't just the free stuff though. I was stealing in his shop.
And he knew.
And he knew. Me, Larry, not Grant. Grant always got money. We were stealing in his shop. But my mum would always find out that I stole something in that shop. But she wouldn't tell me that I stole it. She would ask me questions like, how did you get that thing from the shop? What did you get from the shop? I think to myself, how the hell do you know this? The guy would give me money. Charlie Patel, God bless you. He gave me money to use whenever I was begging for money. I begged quite a lot. He gave me money to use in his own shop. Damn it, I'm not his kid. He's Asian. I mean, he's Indian. I'm Nigerian. I'm not his kid, damn it. He gave me money to use in his own shop, which is that I'm buying his own goods. What do you think the purpose for that was? To teach me that I don't need to steal. And if I am, don't do it from him. Come to me.
I'll give you the money.
I'll give you the money. Now, if you've seen me, how generous I am, people now think I'm doing it for... But do you know how generous people was to me? My God.
Yeah.
Bro.
On that one, I guess we'll leave it on that, boy. And yeah, thank you for tuning in for this episode, boy.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there, boy.